Hello everyone and welcome to another Division 2 video. Today with a little bit of a shorter one, but I had very limited time this week. I am very busy at the moment. So this is game 2 between Gonzo and Luna. So Gonzo has managed to secure himself game 1. So let's see if Luna can equal things out. Both of these players would advance anyway, and they already have, as we have now reached the playoff stage, or for Division 1 semi-finals, since there only were 6 people to begin with. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. So yeah, and because of what I just said with being busy this week, I announced a stream for Saturday. Now the stream will still happen, but I'm not sure yet at what time and if I actually will be playing in the one-day tournament. Reason is just that, as I said, I've been very busy for the rest of the week, and I just want to have some more time for myself and time to actually make some new videos. I do want to finish the town guide by not the weekend, but next week definitely, and I will want to have some time to film that on the weekend. So the stream will most likely. So if I don't play, the stream will just be live casting some of the games from the one-day tournament, or me playing in the queue or something like that, or against someone who who's up for some custom games. But anyway, enough about me. Let's go now to the game. So we have an interesting choice here with first Fallschirmjäger versus Nightcalf. So that's a very odd matchup for this map, I would say, and I think we're not going to delay this any further and go to the decks. And we are going to start off with first Fallschirmjäger, an interesting division that we don't see very often. It has a very weird mix that makes it suitable for maybe a handful of maps, and generally not really strong. It's a very odd choice for Orsha East, that's for sure. The infantry will absolutely shred on that map. The armor, on the other hand, can be a little bit problematic. But let's get to it. So recon type, we do have the Fallschirmpanzerabwehr, nice little unit there, and then some recon in B phase, which is a very odd choice. We don't have any other recon in A phase that I could see. I mean, the Panzerabwehr, yes, but you're probably going to use that more for the bazooka rather than the recon. That's a very odd choice there. Infantry tab, we do have lots of Grenadier MG42s, which is really cool, of course, because that means you actually have some cheap infantry to fill in the gaps between your really strong Fallschirmjägers. Speaking of which, we do get the Fallschirmjäger Stoßtrupp in A phase, a weird little unit, not the best CQC unit, but it has a bit of punch and range too. Leader and then the Fallschirmjäger FG42. In B phase, we get even more leaders. We get the Fallschirmpionier, we get the Fallschirmjäger FG42. Another one, and then in C phase, we have tons of units actually. Grenadier MG42 and Fallschirmjäger CF, so that's a very interesting choice of so many C phase infantry for Maverick deck. I mean, it's a Maverick on Maverick grind, so you are probably gonna need a little bit of infantry, but still an odd choice. I feel like tank tab. You do have Tigers and A, B, and C phase. Once again, I feel like C phase card you're probably not gonna bring that many on Maverick, but maybe I'm wrong. Support tab, Flamers, Stug M42, so that you have at least something that is not a Tiger, and a little bit lighter and cheaper, some IJ18s, MG42s, and then in B phase, some LG42s for all the nice 2k HE that you could want. MO2, a T-tab, some Panzerschreck on top of the Panzerabwehr, interesting choice there, but it makes sense in this matchup. The 47mm, which could do some nice work, 40mm in A phase 2, a Jagdpanzer for a 0, and some people then in B phase. A tab, as you get Z72s in A and B phase, you also have some 20 mils, and then of course the Flak 36 and a nice little 88 for B phase. Artillery, you do have the 120mm mortar, which usually is not that good, but it has better availability now, and this one actually has radar, so this is actually quite strong. And then the 149 in B phase, and the air tab quite light with just an ME410 and a fighter. You can definitely get more airspam going if you want to. Going over to Luna's Ninth Guard Cavalry, an interesting division. I guess I said that to every division, but this one is really cool. It used to be quite bad, and now very strong actually, especially on this map. So I'm very surprised that Gonzo did not ban that, because I mean, Nine Calf is such a beast now on a map like this. You have all the nice stuff that you need for this map, really. So the recap tab, we do have some Osnets Saperi, then we have the Kazaki Razvedka, which I did not know up until I looked at this deck, is actually a decent CQC unit. I think it's 8 man, all PPS ages. So pretty decent. And then we have the Osnan Sniperi coming in at the 50 cal transport, T34, and some more Kazaki Rozvedka and B-Phase. In the tab, we have all the nice spam with Kazaki Mosins. He doesn't even vet them. Then some regular Kazaki, and of course the Kazaki PPSH. Then some Osnats and Osnats Komroti as well. In B-Phase, we do have more Kazaki PPSH, and then the Kazaki SVT, and some more leaders. And in C-Phase, we have just a handful, oh, actually a lot of Kazaki. So 103 infantry in total. Let the spam begin, I'd say. Tank tab, we have some Valentines, which can be quite strong. Now, in this matchup specifically, we'll have to see. But I mean, they're still cheap and they're still a tank, so they're not the best against infantry, but they can definitely still do some work. And what we cannot ignore is that they up close can potentially overpen on a tiger and kill that. So if and I mean, Yak Panzer 4A0 is actually killed for those two. Then, of course, we have MJAS and T34s for all the nice tank support. Support tab, Maxim OB25, the nice stuff, and some ammo as well as a commander. A T tab, I guess we're going to see some PTRS rush and otherwise just some 45 mils and says 2s. And then the A tab, quite nice. I guess the 85 mil kind of fills the gap in B phase for AT because I was surprised that he only has the 1 says 2 in A phase, considering that he will mostly be facing tigers and that will probably not up close. But anyway, the air tab we then have the says 12 as well as some 37 mils artillery, SU-76 and the 122 as well as some off map. I guess the 122 can also do some AT if really needed. And in the air tab, we do have a fighter, interesting, and the IL-237, of course, the tank buster plane this thing can absolutely shred, and then the one LA-7 that has a decent loadout but bad availability, and then of course in B-phase you get the two TU-2S with the nice 1000 kilogram bomb. This thing is an absolute unit, so definitely love to see that. And we are back. So, as always, let's talk about the map and the deployment. So the map is more of one of the more balanced ones. It's relatively symmetrical, but there are definitely some very, very noticeable things. Now, Luna got the good side because on a red side you can relatively easily push this town and get at least 2 flags right from the start. Now, if you can't contest the open very well, you can't really hold them, but it can give you a nice little early lead and put some pressure on blue, and that can already be enough. Now, blue, on the other hand, can realistically grab this one, but even that one can be contested by a red side. Blue usually doesn't get in here in time, and the flanks are really pushable for both sides. So blue just has a little bit of a harder time here. It's not impossible for blue sides to make place, and this is why this is still overall a relatively balanced map, right? Both sides can realistically make plays and grab some areas, but it's definitely harder for blue side at the start and easier for red side at the start. Also, red side has an easier time reinforcing the town through here, whereas blue side, you can cut that kind of off from up there. But anyway, let's look at the deployment. Gonzo on the left goes relatively defensively down south, but he has a decent force there, so he could potentially push forward into that flag. In the center, he does not go super aggressive. He doesn't even try to get into the town because he knows probably that usually it doesn't really work out. He has some support weapons going over here. Interesting. But yeah, okay, so on the hill as well, some AT. He doesn't even send something in here, so he doesn't try to contest that right away. I guess he is afraid, by the looks of it, that Luna might make a push up here, because it's something that happens sometimes. Then going further up north, we see him deploying defensively into here with some flamethrowers, just trying to hold this flag, I guess. Same up here. And on the very north, also relatively defensive. This is relatively evenly spread out over the map, which is not that great if you want to be aggressive, to be honest, because if your opponent focuses on one area, what can happen if you spread out too evenly is that your opponent might overwhelm you in one area and you do not have the necessary advantage in the other areas. Um, but of course, these are players that are incredibly much higher in skill than myself, so they know what they are doing. We have some PTRS coming forward on Luna's side for some spam. He goes aggressive right from the start. I have to assume one of them is a PTRS. What's the other one? Oh, just not Saperi going in there for some more fun. But yeah, Luna trying to push here right from the start. So some nice, good aggression there. In the town, we have one Maxim to hold it. Otherwise, we have some Osnat Saperi rushing forward. So he's doing what Gonzo is afraid of, it looks like. And some recon for Church Tower, of course. Towards the north or center, he tries to hold this flag. Pretty common there. Some recon going here, and then I think it's this one. Yeah. Then the 50 cal just pushing forward. He's trying to set up in the town here. Pretty classical grab. He's definitely going to get in there with the fast transports. The rest, debatable. And then up north, he is continuing to push this. This is the other classical thing, right? You can rush from here, but you can also then build up a push here and try to get into town from there. And if it goes well, you might be able to grab all 3 flags there. So Luna going aggressive down south and in the center, and then up north he goes defensive because of course he can't push everywhere, right? So yeah, interesting there. Let's see how this actually plays out. I mean, one thing that I do have to say now, I don't know about these top players, but I would assume it is the same to some extent. Good aggression right from the start, and such basically I would say hyper aggression here by pushing everywhere can be a massive issue, because if you are the other player, you are confronted with things falling apart everywhere if it goes well, right? This is the caveat here. If it goes well, then you're struggling everywhere. That can be very, very overwhelming. Now, I would assume that a player of Gonzo's type would definitely be able to deal much better with it than I would, or a player of my skill level in general. But it can be rough, and I would imagine that even for a player of his skill, it can be very difficult to deal with. So that's my 2 cents here. And there we see the power, right? Just because of the fast transports and the way the flags are set up, Luna gets 2 flags right at the start. He had this for a brief moment, now it's gone away. But you know what I mean. Oh, 50 cal goes down to the 47 mil. That's a big kill there. T34 is a 75mm. Ryan, this one has 65, so it could potentially overpen. It has a higher rate of fire. Down south, Luna's push going forwards, PTRSs didn't do much as far as I can see, although do I see smoke here? Oh, look at that. That Grenadier looks like got sniped in the transport, but it survived, so that's definitely something there. Center push did not go super well for Luna, and then we have the ME410 pushing, going for the center. LA7 tried to head on it, but it has 220mm, I think. Yeah. But that's not enough. How fast is it actually? It's actually quite fast. It might catch the ME410. 410 is also fast, but I think the yeah, look at that. The LS7 is faster. That would be absolutely devastating. That's 100 points down the drain already. Down it goes 95 to be correct, but who's counting that closely? Oh, IGT might be able to get a side shot here. T34 has arrived and looks like the 47mm did die. IGT doesn't actually need to get a side shot. It has 75mm of pen. There's a heat shell, so it doesn't drop over range. So it can potentially kill the T34. Some strafing going on the IGT in here. And the 50 cal, it's not half track. The 50 cal thing here is still alive, so it's definitely a thing. Now, one thing that we have to keep in mind is that Gonzo can potentially control the center with his 2K. And I think what he's hoping for is that he can, with all his Panzerschrecks, that he can kind of keep the Shermans and Valentines at bay, like in these more CQC areas, and he's probably hoping that his infantry can control the situation now. Because truthfully, the FG42s are gonna easily overpower the infantry of Luna, but Luna has so many of those that this might not be that true. IGT going down flips his flag to Luna, bringing it to a 15-9 with him holding these 2 flags, these three flags right there. And this would definitely not have happened if these sides were switched. So this is something to keep in mind. This is really where the imbalance comes from. OP25 here is a little bit out of position. We'll need to move forward. He could definitely kill the Stuk for the 2 there. But always forget, is this, no, it's not a, no, it's not a 2K thing. LA7 gets some bombs off, don't know if it killed anything. Definitely did some damage. Down south, we do have just a blob of Kazaki PPSH now pushing forward. And they do have, the GP has not turned it off. Now, the DP, in my opinion, is super annoying for most of the time, but of course, in this case, where you generally speaking have fire superiority, they can actually be quite nice because then you have the hybrid factor in. But if you wanna, when you want it to approach CQC areas, it can be very obnoxious because then it actually gets stuck shooting at things that you don't want it to shoot at, so that can be a little bit of a problem. And yeah, look at that. The center, we still have some progress now. Luna's line here is not super. Yeah, it's relatively thin actually. There's not that many things that hold the line, especially now that T-34 got killed by the Jagdpanzer IV. I mean, the Jagdpanzer IV is going to be a bit of a problem here for Luna, but he's on the 17-7. Gonzo did not try to push up north just yet. He tries to go a little bit for the center, but there's not much happening. Jagdpanzer IV A0 coming in down south. That's definitely going to be a problem here, but you know, some Osnats could potentially deal with them. Stostrup is in. Two Kazaki PPZ should definitely be able to deal with that. One, depending on the range, could be a little bit of a problem. The two, I mean, the Bren and the three FG42s at range will definitely beat the what's it called? DP from the Kazaki. Grenadier here. Oh, flag just barely on Gonzo's side, but he's probably going to lose that soon, and that one as well. Although the Jagdpanzer IV might help stabilize things. Fallschirmjäger FG2 will definitely be dominating here, but the Fallschirmjägers, the infantry is not really the problem here, I don't think. Well, it will be if you have rows of Kazaki, but like two FG42s should be able to deal with that. Still 16-8 though. I mean, Luna just got a very, very good aggressive head start, and Gonzo just can't keep up with it. And this is the problem, right? If you get pushed everywhere, all of Gonzo's stuff is expensive. So this whole thing, and we have an IL-2 coming in, but oh, that should not have happened. An IL-2 coming in, by the way, should be able to kill that Jagdpanzer IV. No, don't want to follow it, but okay, we're not going to be able to do that. Ooh, no, Jagdpanzer IV gets away. How damaged is it though? Not that damaged. Mostly bounces then. Flies over, no, close to the SDKF Z72. It's not an SDKF Z71, so it won't kill as quickly, right? If this was an SDKF Z71, it's an IL-2, probably would still live, but it would be damaged. That's for sure. 18-6 now, as these two flags are grabbed. This one and all of these flags, or at least these two barely, but these as well. Oh, wow. What a play. Sniper trying to hold off the infantry here. Stück M42 can put an end to that relatively quickly, and then there's not much here that holds the center. But I mean, this is what I think Luna was really trying to count on, right? So as I said, or I was about to say, he has a lot of cheap tools. So it really all comes down to, can he get like pressure on? Can he get that easy, like those good traits initially, and then kind of go from there? Because as soon as he can put the pressure on, at no point, because everything is so expensive, at no point can Gonzo ever like get massive forces down. Now, of course, his things are also better, but at to some degree, quantity just matters as well. And especially everything, or a lot of things, at least that Luna gets, are cost efficient. So he definitely gets more for what he pays, and he also can get more in general. So that will start to add up eventually. And I think this is what we're seeing here, right? I mean, there's still a lot of things up north. I mean, here I think the deployment is also kind of screwing Gonzo a little bit, because he has deployed relatively defensively. He doesn't really have the tools to go super offensive here. The IG-18 and the 47mm here won't really do that for him. And I mean, not having cheap support tools is definitely an issue, right? I mean, if you want to have some armor support and then you have to buy a Jagdpanzer IV, that's just not a good thing. And you know, a T-34 on the other hand for 55 points, that's pretty nice for some good infantry support there. Another SKF Z72 in up north. The LA7 is now forced off. We have more engagements down south. This flag grabbed. I mean, Gonzo managed to do a little encirclement that brings him 2 flags back and stops the 59. That matters a lot, but he can't really take advantage of it by pushing forward up to here. So Luna is still gonna get back in there. Now these things all have, oops, all have radar. That makes a big difference and allows Luna to keep this flag, because otherwise it would have been back to 12-12 for a brief moment, but we're already back to 14-9. Flamer did manage to get in here, so Luna's hold, as I said, broken down. He didn't have a super strong hold everywhere. He just had, in most areas, he just had a little bit everywhere, and that was enough. But Gonzo has started to equal out, but I mean, look at how far down he is in tickets already, and we're only 10 minutes in. IL-2 gets in down south, kills off the Jagdpanzer IV. That's definitely devastating. We have, what does he have? 3 of those? 2 of those? The one is dead. At least we have the one up here. That's still alive, and I think there's one more maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not that many. And one of the Stug M42s already died as well. The other one is on its way down south. Now, Tiger coming in, I should definitely be able to contest the center quite nicely. Another Valentine frontally should not really pen the Tiger, but it can overpen and pen the Tiger up close. And I mean, yeah, 1,000 meters, not likely to happen, but it might happen. If you have 2 or 3 in, then it's definitely going to be a problem, because once again, this thing has such a high rate of fire that it will pen eventually, so you have to be careful at what range you engaged at. Saki dies, one Fallschirmjäger FG42 in. Now these things have radar too, so the radar thing kind of goes both ways, but of course it's much more annoying if someone has cheap radar units, they could just spam around everywhere, than if you have expensive radar units. So that definitely does make a difference. And speaking of cheap things to throw around, look at that. Look at that row. Both of these players now have unlocked their maverick income, and we already see it in effect. Just rows of Kazaki SVT and PPSH. We do have the L2 returning for the Tiger, and I will get some shots off, but the SDKF Z72 should stop the L2 eventually. It's doing some weird turns, I'm not really sure what's going on. We do have artillery in as well. Valentine under fire. Oh, down it goes. IL2 gets like one shot off, maybe, and misses. ME410 coming in, trying to get on the back of the L2. There's no AA, so it will catch that, and it will probably shoot that down. And that's going to be a problem for Luna, because, I mean, how else is he going to deal with that Tiger unless Gonzo is not careful enough and gets into close range of the SIS-2. And it turns around for some bombing on the Kazaki Mosin here. It's not going to be necessary. The FG42 will deal with those. No. Oh, no, he can't make it. That's unfortunate. Penny here trying to fight off the Kazaki, but they're out of the open. But, I mean, it's a DP. It's 1 DP versus 2 MG33, I think? Yeah. But that should lose. Especially if the FG42 get involved as well. You have the Kazaki Rozvetka now coming. Pupshin here who should claim that T-34 unless it is too stressed out. It is not. Gets the kill. Kazaki Mosin will finish it off though, I think. At some point. Eventually. Maybe. Yeah, but here the spam has arrived. So there's an Osnats Komorotin. There's no Osnats. So, but I mean, it's not that much armor. There's the one Shu M42. You could probably just. Oh no, the Kazaki SVT do not have any AT, I don't think. So otherwise, you could, but the PPSH do have, so you could probably just swarm that, is what I was going to say. ME410 is now in, bombing everything here, fails to kill. LA7 went after the FG42, making a run for it as the SDKF Z72 is pinning it. We do have the TU2 now in. The SDKF Z72 probably won't stop that. I don't think so. Maybe? No. Does tier 2 turn the right way? It does. And that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt quite a bit, actually. No, it does not because there's only the puncher, puncher up there. Oh, but in the center we have missed some crucial things as Gonzo actually managed to get a hold of the Gazaki there. That flips or ensures this flag and flips this one back, but it's still 13 love for Luna as he's still holding this flag in the center in the town. Gonzo's not managed to get Luna out of that one, and Luna is keeping up the pressure. It's three Kazaki SVT. Now some of them just died in transport, I think. The FG42 is doing a good job at pinning, but he can't do it. And if that one dies, that will flip this flag back probably, and that means that Luna only has to get one more flag. Now he's lost this one, but he's still holding this one and this one in town. And TU2, another TUS, I have to imagine. It's already going after Jagdpanzer 4. SKF set 72 should no. Okay, I mean it's high flying, relatively fast. Heavy bomber with good resilience, so. Oh, look at that! Panzer, Panzer 4 dies, LG42 dies, everything here is pinned except for the IG-18 and the AS672. He could probably even have targeted that one. I'm going to be honest. And the blow of Kazaki, PPSH, SVT, regulator. Kazaki of all sorts just managed to overwhelm the Pioneer here. Not Pioneer, Fallschirmjäger Pioneer here. Bring this flag under Luna's control as well. He's pressuring the Pupchen and the FG42 here. Valentine should easily kill that Sugar M42. That should probably flip this flag back, and that will bring it back to a 15-9 for Luna. He might also be able to kill that FG42 here off eventually. The SU-76, I was going to say, has been called in, and I don't think it did. Oh no, it shot 10 rounds. I don't know what. But it is put to good use again. Yeah, it's going after the FG42. That's definitely a smart choice. Is there radio somewhere? No, it doesn't look like it. Although, what's the... No. But it dies. So... Not needed anymore. 15-9. There we go. We do have now a 120 in... is there no radio here? No, it's out of range. But I mean, it's going to do a lot of pinning, and everything is bunched up, so that's going to hurt. Ooh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Next flag, full 16-8 now for Luna. Wow. Look at him go. Look at him go. Up north, we do see some progress by Gonzo. He's finally managed to get a hold of the situation here. His units are unpinned and pushing again. LA7 is trying to stop that though, but yes, he gets that. Yeah, 72. I was going to say, that one should definitely be stopped. And I don't think the Osnat Center Kazaki PVSH here can hold that off. The OB25 is not in a position to stop anything. It would need to be up here. But then you have limited line of sight. So I think these two flags will return to their rightful owner relatively soon. But Luna still has two flags down south and he might get another one. So yeah, I think he can... He's still okay. He re-grabbed this one. I think this was absolutely key here because otherwise he's not going to get... Once his two flags fall, he would lose to 15-9. But if he can keep that one and grab this one down south, he will still be able to get to 15-9. So I think he realized this, and that's why he pushed over here. As long as the LG42 is busy with these two Kazaki SVT, this one will manage to sneak in. The Penny here, oh no, manages to get in, so that's definitely going to be a problem. Because it can force off the SVT. Oh no, OB25 spotted it. Might be able to force it off. Is it going to... Oh no, these units can't... These units don't have a line of sight on it. Penny is pinned. Kazaki SVT did get in. But the Penny can still move forward slowly but surely and then throw the grenade. SIS-12 stops the ME-410. Might shoot it down actually. It's a double 25 mil. At this range, if you fly directly over it, I mean, it's just better than a 20 mil. There we go. Down it goes. 2-2-2S overwhelming the AA up north, getting the bombs off. Killing an LG-42. Gonzo has plenty of those. I mean, not plenty, it's not infinity of those, but yeah, 6, so that should definitely last for a while. We've seen 2 die now. There's another one down here. Maybe another one aside, I don't know. And you haven't not noticed, I don't know. This 2 here doing some transport sniping, it looks like. 25 under pressure. Infantry is pinned by the other TU2, I assume, but is not dead. Oh, OB25 goes down to the LG42. There we go. And now the Valentine is trying to stop the Fallschirmjäger plenty there. Tiger coming in, yeah, that should definitely be able to take care of that Valentine. As we said, up close, Valentine can do some work, but looks like the Tiger will have line of sight from very far anyway. And oh, look at that! Everything here dying means that these two flags now flip as well, and it's all of a sudden 13-11 for Luna, but that's still one flag too many that Luna is holding for Gonzo to equal out. I think we can pretty much call. Oh, not a unit tries in the transport. I do have a feeling that this game is not gonna go super long at this point. I mean, I know it's a shorter one, so yeah, that looks relatively decided to me. T2S gets its bombs off again. It's not that great against moving, like pushing targets, but he can still stop. That's what he needed to. Oh, lands on point. Never mind. Don't know. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Um, I guess that works. Wow. What a show of strength here. And we are about to reach sea phase. And Gonzo managed to equal out. Okay. But it's just these two flags. They're easily re-grabbed. But looks like the Gonzo center push actually is forming well, and Luna might be able. Maybe this is the turnaround. Maybe. I mean, Luna's forces are pretty much focused down south right now. So if Gonzo can take advantage of this, which I think he does, I think he's realized that Luna is focusing heavily down south. So and he, if he's Tiger, he can just put a stop to that. Then Gonzo can just push everywhere else. I mean, he's heavily outnumbering Luna everywhere basically. All of a sudden, it's 13-11 for Gonzo, and yeah, these two should go down relatively quickly. That should 12-12 though. Oh yeah, Luna is re-grabbing this, but if Gonzo managed to, I mean, Gonzo could potentially try to get up here. If he supports his push nicely, he might be able to get in here, grab this flag, lock down the area. He's grabbing this flag now. He might be able to get a hold of all of these flags. That's two more. So, and at this point, Luna can realistically, he can re-grab those, but he can't push from here because of CQC, CQC. I mean, these are not CQC, but what are they going to do against the Tiger, really? These are not really range units either. Yeah, I think the push here to the town is a little bit too ballsy. Because, I mean, this is where... this area in general is where Luna is actually strong. So, I feel like trying to lock down the area from the cover here, that would have been the play here. And then, of course, push up north, which is still happening. And I mean, if your opponent doesn't really have good units at range, even the Schlossrup with is Bren and 3 FG42s, which FG42s aren't bad. That can definitely do the trick, although TU2S coming in... But I mean, if you look at the map, there's quite a bit of blue now. There's still a lot of red, but all of the red stuff is dirt cheap, so... Oh, we have a 122 in now, though, and it's going after 120 mil. That might change things there a little bit. I guess a big problem is definitely going to be the skies. Luna has AA now on both major parts of the map. Gonzo has as well, but his AA can't really stop the T2Ss. That's going to be a problem. Oh, Tiger in here. If he needs to be careful. The 122 might be able to kill that off. Assist, if he pushes forward too far, the Assist 2 could potentially do it as well, although it's not that easy. LG42 and MG42 will do the work here. Kazaki, Maxim here will probably not be able to hold the line. Yeah, the push down south into the town was maybe a little bit too ballsy, but it's 13-11 for Gonzo as he re-grabbed this flag as well. So he's making some good progress. The Valentine here is definitely going to be a little bit of an issue. 122 is now on the run. It was actually deployed quite far forward, so... Oh, something died down here? Or what was it? I kind of missed it. But, you know, Gonzo knows. Panzerwreck is coming in, trying to stop the Valentine. Luna's on the move now, though. Let's actually look. What do these players see? I didn't do that so far. So Luna actually sees quite a lot. He sees all the stuff in the center here. He sees that the Tiger is there. And a little bit of what's going on up north. What's Gonzo seeing? Oh, we know how long he's going to go now. Oops. But yeah, Gonzo doesn't see that much. He knows a little bit of defense here. He knows about those. He probably knew about the Valentine, but he doesn't know where it's going. So it's definitely far from ideal. Supplies are in, I guess, to... Oh, okay, to resupply the SU-76 and maybe to make sure that this thing doesn't run out of AP. Although, no, I don't think that's it. Because this thing, if it misses, it will probably die anyway. Now we have... Wow. So, Luna has just been waiting. Two TU2 asses coming in. LA7 going for the SEK Z2. It is not armored, so it can easily get killed. And the other LA7 for a straight run SEK Z2 goes down. Ah, it's devastating. This always feels so bad when it happens. To me, when I go for a play like this, I'm either super desperate to kill the AA, or it's really just a show of force, a little bit of humiliation. Not that I like really want to humiliate my opponent, but this is kind of the way it feels when you go for it. Because I mean, if you can pull that off without losing any planes for it, that's usually just showing your opponent that it's time to surrender because he cannot stop your air spam. That's usually the point when you are usually at this point when it's gonna happen. Let's put it at that. Down south, we do see a counter push by Luna. We have two Valentines. They are very, very close. So the Panther, the Tiger here, could run into them, and we might see them killing it off. I do want to see that. Up north, we do have, yeah, I think Gonzo is being forced off. There we go. No, not yet. This I do want to say. And try to listen to your feedback, guys. Now, I do generally still value getting the channel picture, overseeing some unique engagements, especially if they don't matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. Not every tank battle is deciding the game. But this one is a spectacle. I think the Tiger will die, and I do want to see the Valentines killing a Tiger. I do want to see that. No, why is the Osnats there? Failed to kill though, because as we can see, well now it's, oh come on, boo Luna, boo. But yeah, so as you can see, Bazooka only has 10 damage, or something to never forget. So against heavy tank, you actually need 2 hits. But yeah, I guess the Valentines are just basically uncontested now. And it's back to 13-11 for Luna as he grabs the flag down south here. He has regrabbed this one. We do have the first Sherman in. Surprised that it took so long. The 122, no, it's just going after this blob there together with the SU-76. They do have their own radio maybe? No. Barely out of radio range, but the radio... Oh, the Saperi is here. That's why I felt like the spread was too small. There has to be a radio somewhere, and there it is. Just not Saperi has it. But yeah, so Gonzo's push up north was dismantled by Luna. Luna pushing back now. There's just... This is where, yeah, it's just spam. Now, yes, there's a CF here, but what's it gonna do against all the Kazaki here? Like, it's just gonna get overwhelmed. He can't pin, sorry, all of the Kazaki before they will pin the FG42. Just too many targets. That's the problem with expensive units. LA7 getting in, doing some pinning Kazaki PPSA, just wiping these Grenadiers here. With just rows of Kazaki, I mean, I think Luna just knows that he can do that. And he knows that he just needs to hold now, so I guess he's aware that he can just spam things around to make sure that he can hold ground, and he will win. I mean, Gonzo first needs to get through all of these units, and that's gonna take some time. 122 is still going after this, but it's not actually hitting much other than the Fallschirmjäger Panzerabwehr because of its smaller spread. SU-76, same thing. The LG-42 is actually safe as well. Yes, the Tiger helping this. Back to 12-12 though, as the Gazaki blob is being forced off. Emcha now moving in. He has to be careful. I don't think there's an angle where he can stop the CFs without getting spotted by the Tiger. No. Doesn't look like it. Kazaki Mosin trying to push forward. I mean, there's one Fallschirmjäger penny here. If that one, and by the looks of it, yeah, it really is just 1 health. So if that one goes down, and the Kazaki Mosin can kill at even at CQC range, that will bring back the third level. Or the Tier 2S just kills the Fallschirmjäger CF. Now I have the Tiger pushing forward. I'm so disappointed. I want to see this thing directly firing at the Tiger and probably missing, but who knows. 13-11 again for Luna. And it's probably going to be the 14-10 very, very soon. Kazaki Mosin has spotted the Fallschirmjäger, is now pushing forward. So if the Tiger gets in here in time... Oh, MJ gets a side shot and kills the Tiger. Wow. And Gonzos read this. That's very, very understandable. Yeah, no, he wasn't taken down completely, but I mean, I would probably surrender at this point as well. I think the game was decided already, and yeah, if things are looking like that, it's very fair to surrender. Yeah, look at that, 3,395 to 1,870. Very, very clearly out-traded there by Luna. Great game though. I mean, it just goes to show you that you really need to ban Minecraft now, at least on a map like that. You can't leave it open. You just can't. So major mistake there by Gonzo. But I mean, Luna made the major mistake of not banning CIBG in game one. So I think it's kind of fair in the end. Look at this L7 providing so much value. Kills the ME410 and then does a ton of work with strafing actually. I'm surprised to see that. I mean, yes, 20 minutes are decent for strafing, but 2 is not great. It's okay, but it's not great. But actually a lot of work here. National Sniper did some work. The other LA7 getting good value as well. T44, Kazaki. I mean, if you can overwhelm, you have the one Kazaki unit that just kills everything and the rest doesn't do much, as we can see. Oh, it's still killing a lot of things, though. So maybe I'm wrong. T2S, yeah, that was a major pain for Gonzo as well. A lot of damage. You look at that thing go. I mean, having 4 of those, that's just disgusting. S760 did a little bit as well, and I think that's about it. On the other side, we do have one FT40. I mean, this is the thing. If you can contest these in a relatively fair engagement, by fair I mean like a 1-on-1 or something like that, which is not fair actually for the Kazaki. The point is, if this thing can engage one unit at a time, it will shred absolutely everything. But you can also just very easily overwhelm it. That's kind of the issue there. Yeah, Panzer. I mean, yeah, this we knew this did so well as well. And I mean that was going to be an absolute pain for Luna. But other than that, LG42 in the center did quite some work. 120 a little bit, some more Fallschirmjäger FG42 and CF did a little bit of work, but just not enough really. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty sad. We can also look at the chronology. I mean, a lot of the early pushes, but most of these things weren't super expensive. Some were not. I mean, it adds up. It adds up definitely. So it's actually quite a lot of points overall that Luna lost here. I would say. So the initial start was actually looking pretty good for Gonzo, but I think this is where it really went. So Luna's basically trading points for flags, and that can work that can also backfire heavily. But I think where things really started taking a bad turn is when he lost his ME410 early. If you buy a plane so early and then lose it, that's absolutely devastating. And I mean, this thing gave Luna so much value. This thing gave basically no value to Gonzo. I mean, he killed one OB25, but that didn't really change the fact that Gonzo was pushed out of those flags there. Then it was kind of back and forth a little bit. But we also have to remember that everything that, well, not everything, the Grenadier MG42 actually not. But other than the Grenadier MG42, things that Luna kills are generally more expensive, things that Gonzo kills are generally speaking very, very cheap. But yeah, actually Gonzo not trading, he's killing lots of things still. And then the air spam starts. Yeah, and I feel like this is... No... No, okay, yeah, so, yeah. Yes, I think the S-bomb is partly when things really go south. But before that didn't look super bad in terms of trades. But I mean, maybe, yeah, it might just be misleading because of the price of units. But anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.